G'day guys, how are ya? Nobsy64 here, doing another vlog, just a short one today, something really simple. It's been driving me nuts for a long time. Also, I'll have some good stuff coming in the future, hopefully, because I've just been packing down and trying to save some money to get some parts for this car. But today's job, I've got Luna here too, she's keeping me company. Aren't ya? So, my AC vent, like between sort of your demister, your foot control, and then coming out vents and that kind of adjustment. When I push the button, it kind of just stays on like the top vents, and the picture doesn't change, and nothing drives, nothing moves. It's a common issue with these cars plus the Lexuses because I think they run the same kind of motor in there. So yeah, it's like lost all control. Like it just gets confused, and sometimes I'd start the car and you could hear it like clicking, and it would be like click, 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 and it sounded like it was destroying itself, and I didn't know what was going on. To the point where then, yeah, I just was stuck on the face controls. So it's kind of annoying when I want to heat and stuff, where I prefer it to come out at feet level, especially now we're coming into winter. Yeah, just drive me nuts. Pulled the dash apart a couple days ago, and I pulled the motor out and I found a problem with it, and I'll show you what that is. So I'll just go ahead, take the screws out of the glove box, drop that out, and then the controls are like just in sort of under the sort of the dash. So yeah, I've just taken the dash out. It's pretty basic under there, plenty of room. Trying to get my torch to work, it must be running out. Yeah, just like got like the main vent like for recirc or outside air. The fans here obviously, and then up here we have some motors. So you can see there's one here, this black box, and then there's like another one back here. So I took this one out the other day because it's the easiest one to get to, and it controls my positioning. There's a problem with that, I can show you. So yeah, I know this top one controls the feet and like face ventilation. This one down here, not entirely sure what it does. I think it might be like heater to cold air adjustment. And then there is another one like up in here, which is obviously your recirc or outside air control as well. But I do know this one is faulty, so I'll pull that out. So that's the one I took off. I actually lied. This was actually working last time I tested, I believe. I seen it move and go through the motions. So I've just taken it off from here. This is like the vent that changes and moves around. It's moving and sort of free. So yeah, it was this one that I found that was worn. I'll take that one off now. Good, of course. Looks like I brought the wrong one. Well, I matched up the numbers. I brought the right one, but it has a different style plug, so I can't use it. But I can show you what the problem is. These are the two motors that I've got out now, so they were in the car. They're the numbers. So this number here is the one that I typed in and I found it. So the new motor I brought has that particular number, which might be the motor, I'm supposing, but I think these are the numbers that I probably need to find. So I'm after the 7061. You can see like I've snapped the clip of it before when I was in here last time. So that's the old one that I want to replace. This is the new one. You can sort of see that from the back they're like identical. I just got to swap this arm over, if that's even possible. I don't know. I was assuming there's a screw in there somewhere holding that on, but you can see that this plug is much larger than that one. So I've got to do a bit more research and see if I can find the right one, because that's not going to work. I also had trouble finding them because I went through like Megazip and AMA or whatever it is, those Japanese car sites, and I typed in my car and everything, found the schematic drawing, looked up the part and got the number and got the actual right motor for it, but everywhere I went said out of stock. So I'm assuming that just this one motor in particular is a very common issue and everyone's buying them. So I just typed it into Google in general and I just found it somewhere online, but it obviously wasn't the right one. I pop it apart. It's a simple motor, some gears, a cog, This runs like these fingers that are obviously like pickups and sort of determine where its positions are, and it has multiple positions because of the vent changes. And as you can see on this wheel, if I zoom in, let it focus, there is wear marks on these slides where the fingers have been rubbing, and I think that's where it's been clicking backwards and forwards. So I think it's losing its pickup and position, and it's just bouncing between the spots. That's what my issue is. I've just got to find the right one of these to put in it, and I think it'll work. So I'll do a bit more Googling tonight and maybe looking, and they're fairly cheap. I think I brought that one for like 30 bucks. I guess I can try and sell it again, but I don't know where it fits. It might be one of my other motors that are in there with luck. Not with the other motor that was the first motor I pointed to. That one also runs the same plug as the other one. So maybe it's the vent control one up in there for recirc. I can check that, but for now I can show you that this vent and slide actually moves very freely, so that is not jammed, and that's the one where the worn motor come from. That's the new one. If I look at this one up in here, it's gonna be hard to see because it's a bit dark for you guys, but there's one here for this control, and it has the small plug. So, not that half. This half looks like it lines up with that one. So this is now my spare for that control. But yeah, it works at the moment. I've tested it. I just checked that. Yeah, it is a smaller plug, but the way it's got to mount, the plug ends up being on the wrong side to what I have in the car. So that's not the spare for that vent. I don't know what this is for. It's obviously for probably another Toyota or similar, someone else's aircon vent, but that is useless to me at the moment. So anyway, I'll have to look for another one. Today's gone terribly wrong, but at least I've shown you what the issue is. Those parts or these motors seem hard to get. I think it's very common. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna have to look hard, I think. And I probably won't release this video until I have the new one and it's sorted, because if they are hard to get, I don't want everyone watching this video and then going out and buying them before I get a chance to. The fun part, to put it all back together again for a second time and wait till I order a new one, because I probably want to drive the car before I get the new one. Alrighty, so I sort of left my recordings for a bit. I ordered the new one. It took like a week or two to get here. It wasn't too bad, but I've just been super busy. Like I said in my last video, I had a knee reconstruction, so to get down and do this job in the car was gonna be tough. It's pretty good now, bit of pain there, but I could still get down and do the job. And then being in lockdown with COVID and stuff and work has tied me up. But I do have the new one, which I've just pulled out. Sorry, this is the old one, and the new one is in this box right next to it. And I believe they'll be identical. If not, I'm gonna be quite upset. But everything about them looks identical, besides that arm facing another way, but I'm pretty sure it turns around. The plugs are the same, the numbers are all the same. Slightly different case, like just the styling on the cases, but other than that, it looks close enough. So it'll bolt in. Whether it works, I don't know. Yeah, I got the arm the same way as the old one by just opening the cover up. It's just got all these like tabs you pop open, and being that it's fresh plastic, it doesn't, well, it's not brittle like the old one and crack. So I separated it, but the sensors in here, whether that screws the configuration of them up and it loses itself, I don't know, but it's the only way I can get it to go into the car, because it was facing the opposite way, as you could see before. So I'm just going to try it. Yeah, when I plug them in, their home positions are like this. You can see they're like out, so they don't line up, which is very annoying. Yeah, so when the new one was in, it just kept driving hard in like a position and jamming up, and yeah, it wasn't happy. So I think each of these were roughly around that $30 mark. So far I've wasted 60 bucks trying to do this. I'll pull this one apart and show you the inside again, because the inside is completely backwards and flipped to this one. So yeah, this one like has motor and prongs in like the base, and then they ride up on top of this wheel with its contacts, and that's where it's like worn through, and I thought it was giving me an issue. This one, the new one, is the opposite. So it has the prongs up here on the back of the lever, and then the like plate is down here with the contacts on it. It's like opposite. So it's not exactly the same, even though I typed in the part number for this one and this one come up and looked identical on the outside. It's literally on the wrong angle. And yeah, when I plug it in, it goes to the opposite to what this one does. So it's like it just needs to be flipped, but you can't do that the way it mounts in the car. So I can probably order like one from Japan, from like a parts list of my car, but I think they were rather expensive. I tried it, it's annoying me. I'm going to give up on it, I think, because funny enough, since I've been pulling it in and out of the car, the old one has been working. Like, it's been finding its positions, I think. Not that I use my aircon that much, so I might just throw it back in and just give up for now. But you guys have found out some information from this. I hope it helps. I might attempt to fix this again in the future, maybe come summertime when it annoys me and I do use my AC. Until then, I'm just going to put it back together and forget about it, because I'm sick of it. I've pulled everything in and out that many times trying to sort a little issue out, and no prevail. Anyway. Alright, I might take it out for a drive, because I don't get out in much in it because of coronavirus and lockdown. I don't actually live in the lockdown area, but I work in there, so I've got to abide by the same rules. So technically I can't really go anywhere unless I get essentials, but I do need some essentials, so good excuse to take this car there. So we'll see how she starts. It's a very cold day today. Like a dream. So yeah, while it warms up, I'll do a bit of talking, but yeah, at least I have this car here at home. That means I can drive it. The poor LJ50 lives an hour into the lockdown zone, and I'm not allowed to go there and visit my relatives to go get it. So that's one thing I can't drive or work on. There is another car that I sort of have, or we share across the family, that you don't know about yet, and that's another car I can't drive. I probably will show it to you one day soon. It's a bit of a classic. So another one along the lines of the LJ50, but different again. So yeah, we'll go for a drive. Alright, she's warmed up a bit. The good thing about the virus is that there's no traffic on the road, so I don't mind taking this car out, because I've got less chances of things happening to it and less people, I guess, to cause an accident. So it's always a positive, but yeah, it's still not good. Be safe, everyone. Make sure you're doing the right thing, because I heard today that the virus is getting closer to where I live, which is no good. It's been a while since I've drove this thing. It's kind of funny. Put my phone down. I mean, I'm using a GoPro, aren't I? Get some more temp in her. She's a little cold still. It's only like 10 degrees today or something, and windy as. I miss that noise. Driving the patrol around every day to work during lockdown, it's definitely not as enjoyable. It's kind of boring. I know some people might not see it boring, but it is. bit of a pull from third. There's a little bit of boost lag there. The VTI kicks in. Well, I did my run to Bunnings. That was for my essentials. Good little cruise. Yeah, a little bit of traffic once I got into town, but it's about as much as I can do at the moment. So footage will be a little bit slow, but thanks for watching. Actually, before I go, this button on the side here of this key, I think it's supposed to be a key out of here, but we'll just use the spare at the moment because there's no blade. It's how it come. But it's always had this like trunk button that's never worked. But then today, takes a few presses, but it gets there. That's the first time I've ever seen it do that. So yeah, I think I might just open this up one day and just clean the contacts in there. It might speed it up a little bit, but that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. I'll do more videos when I get a chance. Hopefully, like I've said before, some good stuff coming soon. I'm keen. It's just taken me a long time to get there. Cheers.